She was murdered 130 years ago, but the family never gave up, and now her case is closed. Hey everybody, Mike from Profiling Evil. I want to shout out to my good friends, retired cops Pete Gagliardi and Ray Gadetti. They have an amazing new channel called The Chill of the Night. I hope you'll go over and subscribe. And if you're interested in this 130-year-old murder of my great-great-grandmother and how I solved it, tune in to this episode where they interview me about the book and about what we learned in the course of that 10-year-long investigation. Here's a couple of outtakes from the interview. I hope you enjoy them. And thanks so much for supporting Profiling Evil.
You come for the concepts and you stay for the stories. And today we're going to hear an outstanding story, a story within a story, actually.
So now here we are, and I come across this new book of yours. I'll read the title again. She Knew No Fear, the true story of pioneer Jane McKechnie Walton's incredible journey and untimely death.
And she was murdered on July 24th at the first town celebration of this little tiny town down in the Four Corners area of the United States. And one story that I just loved from that era is I found an account where a woman named Betty Hume died in transit on the boat. So they wrapped her up and they performed a burial at sea, and the entire ship was lined with all of these people who were coming across on the ocean to wish Miss Hume a happy transition into eternal life. And as they dumped her body into the ocean, it says that a pool of sharks came up. And
oh, God. Oh.
So the sad moment turned to screams of horror.
Oh, my God.
Well, and hey, look, I give credit to the way you've written the book, too, because you feel like you're there, the way you're describing, and particularly when you're talking about, I can almost, I see the sights and hear the sounds of what was going on the boat, particularly where there was that one instance where it ran aground and people get swept off. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, what people went through just to get here.
I mean, my ancestors did the same thing. And I always wondered, knowing that most of them were poor people, how they could afford that to make an ocean crossing like that.
You know, actually, the Latter-day Saint Church recognized that early on, and they created something called the Perpetual Immigration Fund. And they would pay for that journey, and then people would be required to pay it back over time. They started down and through what's now known as the Grand Escalante Staircase National Park. And as they were traveling, they ended up coming to the cliffs of the Colorado River, and they found themselves on a 2,000-foot sheer cliff that went straight to the bottom of the river, with a storm that froze in and brought in snows and trapped them in, and they were running out of food. So they had two choices: abandon the entire trip and either go back, which would have been really difficult because of the snows, or figure out how to get through that canyon and continue on their journey. And that's what really became known as Hole in the Rock. And then her big challenge came. Yeah, she, I think, was like many of us. And on one particular Sunday, while everybody was at church, she was sloughing church, and she was at home at her cabin alone. And she was out in her garden hoeing weeds when the Indian chief named Posey, Chief Posey, came up with two of his braves, and they rode up on their horses while she was hoeing in this garden, and it scared the wits out of her, and they demanded that she cook them some food. And she said in her diary that she didn't quite know what to do, but she figured if she could stall long enough, church would end and her husband would come home. And so she said to the chief, listen, as soon as I'm done hoeing this garden, I'll cook you something to eat, which just incensed him. And he started to scream at her and yell and got out and got threatening.
You know, what a movie. I mean, we've had a lot of folks on here between the experiences that they had in the books that they wrote. No way. I mean, oh my God. Oh my God.
That is a true story, and I will, till the day I die, be grateful that I had a Catholic mayor of Salt Lake City standing with me as that woman uttered those words.
Oh my God.
So
I got goosebumps now.
You couldn't make this up.
Yes.
No, and I'll tell you, I had to put in the book.
So, well, I'm glad we had him on again. Just a phenomenal guest.
Yeah. I think I'll give the book to my kids for Christmas. How's that?
Good stuff. All right. Hey, Pete, thank you for another great show.
Yes, sir.
And,
thank you.
We'll speak soon, okay?
Wow, what a story.
What a story.
Thanks for your support of Profiling Evil and for considering supporting In the Chill of the Night. Well, I want to thank Ray and Pete for taking time to interview me about this most amazing story, Jane Walton and She Knew No Fear. You can get it at Amazon or a signed hardbound copy at profilingevil.com. Make sure you're hitting the like and the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. And we'll see you Monday night at choir practice. It's going to be an Ask Mike Anything, and we're going to try to catch up on a lot of stuff that we've missed in the last week. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon at the next crime scene.